Hello everyone and welcome to another Dash video. In this video we're going to be kind of talking about some packages outside of Plotly and Dash, but are very popular in building out dashboards and data science in general, and those packages are Pandas, Polars, and Narwhals. So these are all data frame type of packages which allow you to construct tables in a sense of being able to manage your data in an effective way, to sort it, to run functions on it, to be able to effectively do the processing prior to building out the graphs and creating the interactive dashboards that you're looking to build. So with that, I kind of wanted to run a few tests, and I used Plotly and Dash to build out a dashboard to show the results of those tests. The idea is whenever you run one of these, for example, I'll run Pandas real quick, we can see the time that it took to run the data set. We can also get a graph that represents where the speed is with different sections of the test. For example, like how long does it take to load the data, the filter, the group by, the sort, the complex aggregation, and then how to join data together. So we will run these a few times and we'll see if we can get a better result. So I'll run this another time, and it seems like it's warming up a little bit. It's getting a little bit better. So this is kind of what we're looking at its peak optimization. For Pandas, it's taken about 0.019 seconds, which is pretty dang fast if you ask me. Substantial increase compared to what Pandas was doing, and we will use this as the basis to kind of compare to some of the other ones. So let's run Polars, and we'll run this a few times just to see if we can get a really good result. That's pretty on par. So that's a really good result, and we can get a lot of information from this just kind of by looking at the filter times and the different times that are taking place. One interesting thing that I found with Polars is its load data time. So it seems to take the most time to load in the data, but once you have the data loaded into the application, it's substantially faster. And practically every category, it's not too big of a difference on join, complex aggregation. It's a little bit fat. It's about half the time on complex aggregation. Sort, substantially faster. Yeah, 9 milliseconds or 2 milliseconds. And then group by, it's about half the time. Filter, yep. So it's about half the time. So really where the Pandas data frame is performing most optimally is with loading in the data. But whenever you start running aggregates and different functions on the data itself, that's where you are getting slower times. Now keep in mind this is working with a data set of 100,000 rows. So we'll also run Narwhals a few times, see what we can get there. That seems a little bit high. Run it a second time. All right, it's moving better. Third time. So this one, load data, is the absolute fastest. Filtering, we're at 1.48, very similar. These are about neck and neck. So these are about the same speeds. And filtering, group by 4.6 milliseconds. Group by for Pandas is faster than Narwhals, but still the group by with Polars is substantially faster than the group by. Sort, yeah, with hands down, Polars is the winner. That is crazy, the difference. So that's like a 4 times. That's crazy. Complex aggregation, substantially faster. So it seems like Polars, by far, in most of the categories that we're looking at here, is performing much more optimally for large data sets after it is initially loaded in. So it would be interesting to see if you can mitigate the load-in time with Polars. Maybe you can cache it and then like address that one issue, and then you can have substantially faster times across the board. And there are some methods of doing that within Plotly and Dash, but that's outside the scope of this video. But really what I wanted to show here was I guess the times and give you an understanding of where each of these packages fall in terms of how useful they are in regards of like large data sets and trying to build interactive dashboards that are responsive and fast. And yeah, so I would highly suggest looking at polars. Outside of that, I'm used to using pandas. It's a really easy one to work with. Those are the two that I kind of have my eyes on. If I was trying to do something fast and quick, I might use pandas just because I know it so well and it's easy to work with. But I think that this is a good reason to start to explore polars. But if you look at the total time across the board, they're all about the same. You know what I mean? It's very, very close. So it's more dependent on millions of rows. You're not looking at 100,000 rows to see the impact. It's going to be large data sets where this is really, really going to matter. But yeah, I think this is an interesting dashboard, and I think it's a good way to kind of show the winner. So with that, we have some more videos on each one of these where we're going to show how to integrate these within your Dash applications. You can find the links in the description to Pandas documentation, to Polar's documentation, and to Narwhals documentation. But luckily with Plotly and Dash, they have accounted for all of the major data frame packages, so they are very well integrated into the Dash framework, and there are tools available to easily work with them to build out and tell that story with your data. So with that, I hope you all find this very interesting. Check out the follow-up videos as they're going to dive more in depth on each one of these and the topic of how to build out a Dash application with each one of these. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.